Hello to everyone. Publication of images of women prisoners of Yazidi, continuation of the war of reaction against women and collective memory. The republication of images of Yazidi women captured during the ISIS offensive in Shengal or Sinjar is not just the republication of some images from the past. It is the continuation of the same war that ISIS started with genocide, sexual slavery, rape, and organized destruction of Yazidi society. The Yazidi women's liberation movement, Tajeh, has described the move as part of a special war against Yazidi women and society, and has described it as a calculated attempt to humiliate, humiliate survivors, distort the truth, and break their resistance. The targeted publication of these images is a continuation of the war that is being pursued today, not with weapons but with media, image, and psychological operations. It aims to reproduce fear, humiliate victims, and create narratives that try to hide the crime and blame the victim. The false claim of voluntary Islamization of some captive women is also part of the same propaganda war to normalize slavery, rape, and crime. But this disaster cannot be limited to ISIS and its criminals. From the perspective of Marxist feminism, violence against women is rooted in dominant structures that are reproduced on the basis of exploitation, patriarchy, and inequality. Throughout history, when reactionary forces have resorted to war, occupation, and ethnic and religious cleansing to maintain or expand their dominance, the female body has become one of the first battlefields. In the meantime, religious fundamentalism is not the ultimate cause of this violence, but one of its ideological tools. The ruling classes and reactionary governments have used religion, nationalism, extremist nationalism, and other dominant ideologies in various periods to legitimize violence, mobilize power, and maintain power relations. By abusing religion, ISIS also led a political and military project aimed at destroying Yazidi society, suppressing women, and consolidating domination through organized terror. The genocide of the Sinjar or Shingal was not just a massacre. massacre. It was an organized attempt to destroy a society through murder, forced migration, slavery, and systematic aggression. In such projects, women's bodies become battlefields to be targeted by breaking them identity, social cohesion, and the capacity of a nation's resistance. Therefore, defending Yazidi women is not just defending the victims of a crime, defending freedom, human dignity, and the right to exist against one of the most violent forms of reactionary domination. The warning of the new movement about the coincidence of the publication of these images with the anniversary of the genocide of the Shingal or Sinjar is also of particular importance. This is a conscious attempt to reopen untreated wounds and continue the same war that follows the military defeat of ISIS in the media, narrative, and psychological warfare arena. The silence of governments, international organizations, and human rights organizations against such actions helps to continue the immunity of the perpetrators of crimes and the reproduction of violence. The release of all abducted women, the trial of genocide commanders and perpetrators, the fight against the distortion of truth, and the protection of the rights of the Yazidi community are the responsibility that lies on the shoulders of the international community. The struggle of Yazidi women is not just a fight against ISIS or a historical crime. It's part of the global struggle against structures that reproduce war, patriarchy, fundamentalism, and exploitation to maintain domination. But Yazidi women are not the only victims of this history of violence. They have shown in the heart of disaster by resisting, organizing, and defending their identity and freedom that victims of violence can become the conscious and leading force of struggle. As long as the economic, political, and ideological structures that produce domination and discrimination persist, violence against women will also be reproduced in various forms. Therefore, litigation for Yazidi women is not only demanding punishment for criminals, it is part of the struggle for a world free of domination, discrimination, fundamentalism, and human exploitation of men, a world in which no woman becomes a tool of war, power, and revenge. International Women's Solidarity Council. Till the next video and text. Bye.